family. We are live, broadcasting live. This is the Conversation Room 101. Make sure it's only adults in the house. I need your mind to be open, prepared, and relaxed. Welcome to our home. Take your shoes off. We got some rules we need to go over. Be kind. No cursing in the chat. If you want to curse, call in. And no shouting out other channels. That's a no-no. We got one other rule. There is no judging our guests. It will not be permitted. Zero tolerance. And if so, you want to do that, guess what? We got security. And we will escort you out. Because over here, hashtag we don't care. We're going to be one big family. We're going to laugh together sometimes. We're going to cry. But we definitely going to pray. I thank the Lord above for everything. I lift him up and give him the glory. But you guys, right now, we're going to get our popcorn. And then we're going to see what's going on. And let me just park my car. And I'll be in there in a minute. I see you real soon.
The Copyright Disclaimer Act. The Copyright Disclaimer Act under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news, reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is used permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Like, share, subscribe.
Do you want to know? Well, I've been thinking about you. And I think I have to listen. Because the sun is up, it's a beautiful day. My beginning will be as bright as the sun. Come, won't you come along? And it feels so right, it's like luck is raining on me. Go and follow your heart, doesn't matter how far. There is so much love to give, something's telling me this time. Baby, baby, now I know. Baby, baby, gotta go. There is so much love to give, something's telling me it's right.
Neighbors and their
When you
community
came to me,
compelled
who
to
are
scour
you?
the area.
It's you, yeah, boy.
Where does the fault lie on you?
Hey, family. Come on in, you guys. It is June the 3rd, 2026. And, hey, you guys. Nice to see you in the building. I see Nancy LaRose in here. Let me see. Yep, Nancy LaRose, Lisa Taylor. How you guys doing? There's a couple others in here. I didn't come on Monday. What was going on Monday? I don't know. I think I was off work, but I think I slept the whole day away. But anywho, nevertheless, you know, I thought I was off work, but somehow they got me back on the schedule. So I got to work tonight. And that's cool. That's all right. That's all. I need to go look at something if my mail is left. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. So anyway, make sure that you hit that like button. All right. Yes, Lisa Taylor. Close my door, would you please? You Pooh Bear's in the building, but I'm not letting him come on today, you guys. I gotta talk to you guys. He can come and say hi. Come here, Pooh. Oh, you don't want to come say hi?
Hi.
You being bad?
Hi.
Come here, because you ain't even gave me a hug, but as soon as you know that I'm going live, here you come. That's all you want to do. That shirt fits you good. I bought that.
Yeah.
Let me see what size it is. It's nice. Does the shorts go with it?
Nah, it's just a 6'7". The 6'7" shorts you got me.
Oh, extra large. Okay.
That tickles me.
Okay. Oh, okay. Lisa Taylor say hi, Pooh Bear.
I know. I'll let that comment.
Did you say hi back?
Hi.
God, quit being rude, dude.
Hi.
Okay, cutie.
Bye.
Bye. So anyway, he said hi. So anyway, you guys, I'm gonna share this, which I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but I've been watching this channel. I'm not gonna say the name of the channel right now, because people love to take your idea and go, but I gotta get a hold of the creator of the channel. But all his content is like supernatural stuff, like spiritual stuff. And you guys, remember when I told you guys that I wanted to do a reaction type of content, and here's the thing, and that's all I came to talk to you guys about. But here's the thing, like, this guy's content is so powerful that I rush home so I can watch it, and I critique it, and I mean, it draws me in to hear and understand what the content is. So I know, like, I know that the content is whoa. I mean, I do fall asleep on it because I'm just tired. I'm drained from work or whatever, Like, my phone is dead. I was waiting on some phone calls that came in this morning. I went on to bed. I didn't stay up to see what was up. So, yeah. So anyway, yeah. So it's all good, It's all good. So some things. So let me share with you guys. So I've been going through a little warfare, at work. Just people playing games, my boss not taking things seriously. She, she's some kind of in her feelings, but she makes I don't get it. I really don't understand it. I'm not gonna try to understand it no more. It's done gave me a headache. It's made me want to quit. Well, you know what I'm saying, move around. But I'm gonna tell you the only reason why I haven't moved around. And I think God is good. Let me take me a high blood pressure medicine, because I forget to take it when I get home, because should I be so tired, I just want to lay down and relax. But I'm gonna take mine. But anyway, they took me off the schedule on the overtime. I told you guys that. They took me off for overtime and was like, okay, so it is what it is. And somehow they were like, "Did you take yourself off of tomorrow?" And I'm like, "No, I was already off. Somebody crossed me off." And then I looked on the schedule last night, and she done made a whole new schedule and put me back on. Not telling me that she put me back on, just she just put me back on. And I guess I'm supposed to know this. But anyway, what if I didn't come in tonight? Then I what? Get rolled up or something. You know what I mean? So anyway, you know, I'm not tripping, you know. I'm not gonna trip. So so I'm at work and I'm trying to do everything right and the way they want me to do it, which is to look busy all day long, which, I don't have to do it like that, but I guess they're watching me or whatever. I don't, whatever. Anyway, it just boggles my mind a little bit that you want me to spread everything out when, I'm in their room already, but you want me to go back in their room and back in their room and back in their room. Why don't I just give it to them all at one time instead of 10 o'clock, 10:30, 10:14, 10:25? You know what I mean? Like, doesn't even make sense. Like, but, she said my niece's job tried pulling that trick until she started taking a picture of the schedule. Well, took a picture of the schedule. But, here's the thing. Yeah, if I wouldn't have seen that I was on that schedule, I wouldn't come in tonight. I was going to do it anyway just because she asked the question, did you change the schedule? Why would I take myself off when I'm trying to, you know what I mean? Chick, like, but anyway. I'm not going to worry about it. Because they're going to make, like, normally when people like that is around you, because, we know who they serve, right? We know who they serve. They don't serve the living God because he is not the author of confusion. He's not the author of chaos and confusion. He's not the author. He tells you that. He is not the author of all of that. When you have stuff like that going on, no. You already know. See, that's what I try to tell people. Like the words, the scriptures in the Bible, you don't have to be a seance or a witch or a spiritual or, God, hey, it already tells you. I mean, like, if you were baking a cake and it says add flour, then someone comes and say, that cake got flour in it. Like, you're not telling me something new. Like, yes, the Bible tells you that. Believe it. I mean, it is what you can either believe it or not believe it. But if the Bible tells me something and I see this is chaos and I'm trying to figure out what's going on, I don't have to figure out what's going on. I know what I'm dealing with. It's spiritual warfare. Because he's not the author of confusion. So I know what I'm dealing with. I'm baking a cake. I don't have to try to figure out how to reinvent baking a cake. If the recipe calls for flour, and I know flour is in it, then that's what it is. Flour is in baking a cake. Not in all cakes, but 99.9% of the cakes that you bake, flour is in cakes. Okay? But anyway, you guys, I'll go to work and I am off Thursday for sure. And see, I had picked up some days. I had picked up like 3 days or something or whatever. And she took all the days. So, and I don't know, she did it so the other chick couldn't work none, or she didn't want me to give her any of my days or whatever, or she's showing me that if you give her some of your days, then I'll take them all from you or whatever. Women. But, and she's letting you know, hey, looky here, I got the power or whatever. Or, but we put some prayer on it. We put some prayer on the whole situation. And boom. Like I said, boom. I went to work and I was like, I actually was surprised when I seen my name up there. I was like, oh, I wasn't that surprised because the chick that they hired a new nurse. And I'm like, she needs a lot of training. 2 or 3 days ain't just going to get it for her. She's she's new to the facility. She's a new nurse coming. She been out of school for a year, but she ain't even worked a year. Something happened. She got her license. I think it took her a long time to pass the board. I think she had to do it like 4 or 5 times, but she finally passed. And so that tells you, she don't understand a lot. I don't think she's going to make it. I'm just saying, she might make it somewhere else, but it takes a while to get off in there. And if you don't be at the right place, that's going to have some mercy and grace on you. It just ain't going to happen. She trying to start at the top. It's like when I came, like I've been a nurse for a long time, but, I knew I was going to have a problem just jumping in there. So, I started with pediatrics, home care, just a little bit, learn a little bit. Then I started doing a little agency, learn a little bit as I go, learn a little bit as I go. Then I learned a lot of stuff. Then I did private care. Then I did hospice, did a little bit. And then I was like, okay. See, I wouldn't jump in the hospitals. I wouldn't jump in the facilities because I already know, like, they may expect you to know everything and you don't. So then I was like, I think it's time, after 15 years, I think it's time to jump into the facility, but I got to pick the right facility. So I went to pretty much all African-American facility. And yeah, it was chaos and conflict and drama and all that stuff going on. Plus with the personalities and the spirits that you have to deal with and there, all that. They just didn't facilitate old age. It was drug addicts, homelessness, depression, all this other stuff. Hey, Zena, what's going on? And so, so I got a little taste of a lot of stuff, but I stayed there for like a year. And so, so I can learn the computer, the ins and outs of, point click care, PCC, that's what they call it. And then, then I try to maneuver, go around, do some more. I just didn't stop, but you got to learn that. You got to learn that computer right there. Actually, that app, not computer, but app. So I kind of got used to the app so I can, wherever I go, I knew how to, knew what I was doing or, Huh?
Is the TV too loud?
What?
The TV.
I can't hear you.
Is the TV being too loud?
No.
Wow.
So uh so all of that happened, and oh, my grandson just talks so low. He just I'd speak up. You being all meek. You're a man. Speak up. Yeah. What? Yeah. What? Yeah. Oh my goodness gracious. And he a big boy. Yeah. Anyway. So yeah. But anyway, y'all, let's get to talking about what the change gonna come. So you know how that people do reaction videos where they be on the corner or something and we watch the video together. I don't know if they do that live or they record it as they watch it or something, but I that's what I really want to do. That's what I want to do because I really and I think this guy's got hundreds and thousands of videos. I don't know how many videos he's got, but um man, the videos normally an hour, like an hour and 30 minutes. Now, I think that's too long, especially if you're critiquing, not really critiquing, but conversating about what you're watching and what you're hearing and and things of that nature. So, I'm thinking one episode we would have to cut it in like threes, like part one, part two, part three. Duh. You know what I'm saying? Because for it to be an hour for us, we can't just sit there and watch somebody else's video and not say anything. We would have to say something. Or we would have to talk about it or whatever, or things of that nature. You know, stop it and all this. So, I did one before, but the way that I had to do it was I recorded the whole video and then I went in, record me watching the video and then stopped it and then put in everything that I see or everything I hear, you know. I know that's a lot of work and a lot of recording, but it can be done. It can be done. It can. Maybe I'm thinking I really need to think about it, but maybe I can record it and then we can play it and then we can go over it at the same. Yeah, I think that's the way that they're doing it. I think they record it, they put it on theirs, but they don't show that. And then we come in, click on our own site, and then we chit chat, and then that way I can stop it because I think that's how they're doing it, But I have to get back in the swing of it. But my recording, well, I guess my phone does not record a lot
That's the weird thing about it. Like, it doesn't record a lot. But anyway, um, yeah, I'm interested in that, and that's what I want to. I want to change into that. Not I'm just, but I mean, it's up to you guys. It's not just up to me, but man, I do want to watch this. I want to watch these episodes with you guys because they are overwhelming, like a lot of information. And I resonate with the information that I'm hearing because I told you guys, like I, everything that a person does, there's a purpose. Everybody has a purpose. And if you just live in life thinking that you just live in life, you're just here today, just sucking up energy and air and just to be here. That no, you're not just to be here. There's a reason. There's a reason for the season now. There's a reason why you're here now. And you have something that you're supposed to do, and that's why you're here. So if you're gonna do it, you don't know what it is that he has planned in your life that only you can do. You're the only one that can do it. That's why you're still waking up in the morning. You're the only one that can do it or going to do it. You may not know you're going to do it. Ain't nobody making you do it or anything. But if you love the Lord, then he directs your path so that you can. That's why certain stumble blocks come in our life. That's why he tells us, like if we really love the Lord and things happen, just like this job or, somebody get mad or then don't get mad about those things because they're there to make sure you go in the right direction. Like you can't just, yeah, we're going through this life and we don't know, but if we knew, we'd be like, oh no, Lord, I don't want to do that. Or, I want to do this first. Well, you don't know. You just don't know. Hey, Pooh Bear. Zena's in the building. She's saying hi. Pooh.
What?
Zena's in the building. She says hi. How are you? She said, how are you doing?
I can't even walk in here because it's too. I try to do walk, but hi.
She said, how are you?
I'm doing great. I have a great day. I can't wait until my birthday, and you have to remember that because remember that WWE belt you gave me?
Yeah.
It's June. Oh, you said you're gonna get on May. It's June, right? It's June 3.
I said, but you didn't come over here that Friday.
Is it here?
No. We hadn't ordered it.
You'll probably have to order it.
Yeah, we'll do it tomorrow. We'll do some stuff tomorrow. Because it's getting close.
Only if I'm
Close my door.
Here, but how are y'all doing actually? How's the whole entire list doing? And yeah.
All right.
Why? I'm trying to say, who is that? Like
that's Monique Hall.
No.
That's Monique. She's saying hi to Lisa Taylor. And she said hi to you.
Hi, Monica.
Monique.
Oh, I'm just gonna go back.
All right.
If anybody says hi,
let me see. Is those shorts go with that shirt?
Black. Yes.
Oh no, you wearing your 6'7".
Yeah. Black though.
Oh yeah, it's black. Okay.
You bought me this shirt though.
Yeah, and the shorts. So anyway, you guys, I think that's gonna be a weird transition. But I want you guys to know, the reason why I needed to talk to Freddie, I was letting her know that once we go down to Atlanta in August, I wanted to go. I wanted to visit Freddie. You know, my goddaughter's down there, and I haven't seen her. I want to see her. You know, go out to eat. Let's go shopping. Let's do a little shopping. Go out to eat. Wanted her to know what day I was going to be down there. I'm gonna be down there in September. And I told her I'll drive from Atlanta to Birmingham, Alabama. And it's a 2-hour drive. And Papa's like, oh my God. Like, no, I might even take off more days because shoot, I don't even think that this job gonna last long, so I might as well get it on. You know what I'm saying? Like, shoot, I ain't tripping. For real, for real. Like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it may last. Who knows? It may last. I don't know. But I'm not even gonna trip. If I didn't have all this PTO, I would just end it now and give them my 2 weeks notice. I would. I mean, and I am not the one that worry about PTO. I done left job. I've never collected my PTO. Never. At any job, I've never. I know. Well, when I worked at Boeing, I would. I didn't. I mean, I took off for vacation one time, and I went to North Carolina. South Carolina, I'm sorry. North Carolina. I went to North Carolina. I don't know. I think I went to South Carolina. Wherever Columbus is at. I can't even remember where I went. Columbia, North Carolina. That's where I went. I think it's South or North. I don't know which one it is now. It's been so long ago. And I really had a okay time. It wasn't nothing that great, Back then, I thought I was. Is South Carolina? Yeah, Columbia, South Carolina. Thank you, Lisa. It wasn't that great, I didn't have no one to go with me, but I did have a friend up there. Went up there. Then the friend didn't want me to leave, and had a good time all the way until the last day when it's time for me to go. And next thing I know, shoot, they had an attitude, left me at downtown where I didn't even know how to get back. But see, your sister is smart. I know. I don't go. And back then they didn't have phones that tell you GPS and all of this other stuff. So I knew how to get back to the airport. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to go far from it, So, yeah, like I said, I went down there to visit a friend, a so-called friend that wanted to be in a relationship. And I knew that. And I understand, you understand when people be like, this girl, she way down here from Kansas. And they were looking at me like, she got it going on. She ain't bad at all. She's nice looking, I was about 135 pounds, looking good, And I don't think, only thing we did was I made it there, got the car, got the room. They met me at the airport. Shoot, we ended up getting a drop top Mustang. So that right there was like, oh my goodness, we riding around with a drop top. I mean, the car was clean too. It was nice. I got pictures of it too. But you know, like I said, that person, you know, they they were not. That's why I couldn't understand. Like, how are y'all living like this and y'all not got no money down here? Nobody's making money. Y'all looking at me like I'm money bags and shoot. Where I'm at, shoot, I was barely making. I mean, I made good money. Don't get me wrong, I made good money, but they thought I was like Donald Trump or something. Like they ain't got money like that, but shoot, I ain't scared to, you know, go out and have a good time or whatever. And so, we went to see they got casinos down there, and they had them here and there um in the filling stations, everywhere you go. And I think, and I seen that, and I was like, that's why the whole town is broke, because the poor people were going to the casinos, and the casinos had all the money. But anyway, um, yeah, oh, I was small, and I didn't even know I was small. I was like, man, I was fitting in the 8-10, 8 in a 10. Might look at a 12 or something, but those days is over. Those days is over. I ain't even got the middle age spread. I got the grandma things going on now, So anyway, but to be my age, I'm all right. I get through there. I can't even understand it because, like, I got 7 more years, and I'm pretty sure, like, last night when I was at work, I thought about this. I was going up and down them halls and doing this and taking care of that and whoop de whoop de woo. And, I really didn't have a problem, So, yeah. Like I said, I didn't have a problem. So yeah, this year I'll turn 60 this year. Yeah, I got 7 more years to go. So anyway, you guys, that's what I want to do, because see, when there's something good, I mean really, really good, I do like to share it. I do. I like to share. I like I I want y'all to see what I see and hear what I hear. And I think that, like, I just ran into this this content about 2-3 days ago. But watching this content made me it it allowed me to look at myself and see changes that I want to make in my life, that I've been saying, oh, that's okay. Oh, you're a Christian, and that's okay. That's okay to say a cussing word. That's okay to smoke that. That's okay to say this or say that. And I'm thinking, whoa, no, it's not okay. Maybe I need to start. See, because if you don't put your mind to wanting to do better, you're not going to do better. You've got to set your mind And if you sitting in your mind saying, oh, it's okay to do this, and it's okay to say that, and it's okay to talk like this or whatever, and then you just go through life, think, well, I've been saying that, and and I don't see nothing wrong with it. You know, somehow nobody needs to tell you if you said something wrong or you're doing something wrong. When you listen to other people's testimonies and they tell you, I was doing this and I was doing that and I was doing that, they felt like it was wrong or whatever. And this is what happened or whatever. So, I find myself, living a little fleshly. You know what I'm saying? And people be like, oh no, not you, SP. Yes, yes, yes. There's things that's got strongholds on everybody. I don't care who you are or who you think you are. You might be sitting there thinking, oh no, I'm God's disciple. I don't do nothing. Yeah, you do something. You do something that you could do better, And what's some of the content that I have looked at in the last couple of days make me want to do better. Some of the content that I had looked at, like I said, I resonated with it. Like, somebody else may say, oh, that didn't really happen or something. But I'm like, oh, I know exactly what they're talking about. And I told you guys, I wouldn't tell you all of my testimony because you guys would think that I'm crazy. But then I listened to their testimony. And, I always thought if I told everybody my full testimony, they would think I'm crazy. They'd be like, because one person already said, oh, you need to go back to the hospital. That aneurysm done did something to you, da-da-da-da-da. Well, some of that stuff wasn't after the aneurysm. It was way, way before the aneurysm. And some of it was after the aneurysm. But it was happening. And I always thought, how did I see some things? How do I, I want to tap into how did I get there? Like one day I was driving down the street, coming home, upset, getting ready to get into it with my ex-old man, and the Lord told me to don't go home. You guys remember I did tell you that part. And the only, like the voice was calm or something, but people be like, well, how did you know? How did you know it wasn't a bad spirit? How did you know it wasn't a bad spirit? Well, I knew what was in my heart. I was angry. I was hurt. I was ready to fight. I was ready to hurt. And I was worried about my kids. Now, you take all of that and put it together, and you driving home, and you only thing you thinking, my kids better be okay, and I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna say that, and you know, this person ain't gonna take this from me, and this person, if one of my kids is touched, they out. You know, like we're not even gonna discuss it because I'm not even playing that. And I mean, when I say it was in my heart, like I was literally thinking when I walk in, it was gonna be a surprise because I'm here. Everything how I was gonna respond. Da 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 da. I don't know if it would have worked like that, but trust and believe. You know, if I find this is. I was playing it in my mind, over and 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 over. How am I gonna get to the GUN? And you know what I'm saying? So I kept playing it in my mind over and over and over and over and over and over. I'm not finna play with this man. I'm just not. You know, he done pushed me to this limit that, like, my kids are just not even gonna have a mom and a dad. Because we're not doing that. And then I would have lost my job, would have lost my house, would have just lost my kids, and I'm like, you know what? Well, my mama raised my kids because nah, you're not finna play with my kids or whatever, you know. And I felt like it was my fault that I brought him into my life, our life, my children's life, you know. It was my fault. Because there was some signs when you look back, you're like, that ain't bad. You give people the benefit of that. Oh, you went to prison? Oh, okay. Cheated on your girlfriend? Oh, that's all right. You smoke a little weed? Oh, okay. You good. Sex good? Oh, yeah. We go. All right. Nothing going on? Yeah. You know? This person couldn't be committed to nobody. He had a spirit on him that was out. I mean, it was in control. Good looking and everything. I said to myself, I don't even know how I caught him. Because he was so above my speed, you know? But it did. And I think it was more of he didn't look at people like on a physical, you know. But I wasn't bad looking. I'm just saying, I wasn't bad looking. It was just he was really, really. I can't tell you how good looking this gentleman, my ex-husband, was. People like, oh, okay, shut up now, because you're married. That's horrible. It's the truth. He was captivating. You know? It's crazy. Looking back at it now, you like, you not gonna have a testimony about anything without a test.
That's scary?
No. You gotta have a test. So of course he has to be GQ looking. Because if he looked at like, you know, I don't know. If he looked at like Lil Wayne, no. You know, Lil Wayne got some nice music, but not attractive. If he looked at like Forrest Gump, No. If he looked like, I mean, like he, I always thought P. Diddy, I know y'all thinking, oh no. I think P. Diddy, in a natural, P. Diddy does not look nice. He looks like a broken down man. That but when you have money, you can have the teeth, you can have, the clear skin, you can have the haircut, you can have, the makeup that hides all those wrinkles and blackheads and things. But when he's on regular camera, I wouldn't talk to P. Diddy. I just wouldn't. But him, just his persona, like he, like I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that, woo woo woo, I like that, draws me to him, like. And I thought he was a good person because he prayed. He believes in God. But at the same time, you guys, I want to share something with you. And this is just truth. We do all know it, but we say it, but we don't really respect what we're saying. When we say, yeah, he do believe in God, but what God does he believe in? Like, people may act like we're sharing the same God. We're talking about the same God, and we're not. You know, you know, there's a saying, sugar and salt looks alike, but they're totally different. You put a pile of sugar over here and a pile of salt over there and say, which one is sugar and which one is salt? By looking at them, you will not be able to tell just by looking at it. You know? So some people thinking, because they say God, and then people say, there's only one God. There's only one God. To you, you're saying that, but even your God that you serve tells you to don't serve no other God. So if he says don't serve other gods, because you in your mind can manifest a God that you serve. Now, whatever you give to the altar, you give, if you go to church and you say you give it to God, you may know, seeing some people get mad at me for what I say, you may know that the church ain't right. And you may know that your money ain't going to homeless people and people that got cancer and people that lights are cut off. But you give and you be like, well, the Lord says don't cast your pearls to the swine. He says that. If you know that they're riding in a Mercedes and you're walking to church, but you gonna give your last $10 and they gonna fill up and you gonna walk back home. Talking about, I gave it to the Lord. Some people get mad at me. I'm just saying, I mean, we gotta talk about it. Things like that makes me think, Hey, my opinion, how are you in the building? So I just wonder, like, Like, this is crazy that these people have these testimonies that are so powerful and so like good to hear. And I think the one thing so far, like I've learned a lot in the last 3 days. I mean, it's built me up it's built me up. Like when you're going through some stuff, you're wondering, like, I have no one really, like my husband and I, we pray about it. I say, honey, pray for me. And he'd be like looking at, but the number one reason why I married the man that I married, it ain't for money, for show. And it's not for looks. That's for show. And it's not for sex. That's for sure. And it's not. And I said, well, what? Why? I literally really married my husband because he loves the Lord and he's a God-fearing man. And I know he is. Now, I didn't say he don't do nothing wrong, because he does. But I know that he's not trying to do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he get caught up in some stuff, he done let his guards down. But he tries to be he is a good God-fearing man. Like, he loves the Lord. So that's why I married him. Yeah, he does a whole bunch of stuff wrong, y'all. Yeah. Gives me a headache. But because I know, like, our spirit is entwined. So if I don't know nothing else, like what he's doing today, how much money he made, where he go, I know one thing, and you can, sometimes, it only takes one thing that I know without a doubt that he loves the Lord. So with that being said, is he's going to try to do the right thing. And so I believe in my heart that since he loves the Lord, then, I mean, he's going to make mistakes and he's going to do things his way sometimes, But the Lord can talk to him and tell him, now you're treating her wrong. You're not right, or whatever, And before we got married, she said, that will be what I desire first in a man the next time. God-fearing. Trust and believe. That was the only reason, not the first, the only reason. Well, I know, he's not going to hit on a woman. And I knew that's it. I didn't really know if he would hit, but he don't even raise his voice. He just don't. He don't even argue. You know what he say? He say, when he gets sick and tired of me, he said, SP, he say, go sit your crazy butt down somewhere and get out of my face. Oh. Or he'll say, leave me the H alone. Oh my God. He done. He done. He'll put on his clothes and go out the house and leave. Huh? He ain't going nowhere but in the backyard, go walk around the block or something. But I be like, y'all, I can tell y'all, you can make anybody mad, you know? I mean, I wake him up in the mid. I say, "Hey, where's my onion at? I just bought an onion and it's gone. Where'd you take my onion? Your onion? You waking me up at 2 o'clock in the morning talking about onion? I was gonna make some spaghetti and now I can't make no spaghetti. I know I had a whole onion in there. What you do with my onion, girl? If you don't leave me alone, waking me up, I'm talking about an onion." I was like, but then you got to think, where did the onion go? You know? Oh my God, there's some people, but when you're ready to make something and you got everything to make it, and the one thing that you said, okay, I'm at the store and I'm like, I just bought an onion. I know I got an onion, but I'm finna make this spaghetti. And should I get an onion or not? And I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and get another onion just because I'm going to use that onion up. And then I'm not going to have an onion. And I don't want to be mad if it's not enough onion. So I got another onion, but I knew for a fact I had an onion at home. Get home, didn't have the onion. You know, didn't look until 2 o'clock in the morning while he sleep. I'm up. The Lord wakes me up every morning, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. And I never knew why. So what I'm saying is this content that I have been watching for like 2, 3 days has answered so many questions. They're just little bitty questions, but I'm like, oh, you know, like I didn't know why I was getting up 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. You know, I get up and can't sleep, you know. Yeah. I know he knows the Bible real well. Yeah, he does. He will spit them scriptures at you, but, you know, and going back to the car ride home to confront my ex-husband, when the voice spoke to me, I didn't have to say, who was this? I stopped and my first thought was, I am going home to go do some damage. I am going home and my anger is so out there. I told you guys, I go out, pew. That's why I don't like to argue. And that's why I don't argue. People want to argue with me, I'll be like, okay, you know, like I'm not gonna argue with you. Goodbye. You know, I'm not gonna argue with you. If that's the way you feel, so be it. I'm not gonna try to convince you or whatever. I'm just not gonna argue. It's a done conversation. Go argue with somebody else. Because I don't ever want to get to that point. I've been there where I'm ready. You know, and I don't know if you guys ever been there before where you're like, I don't care. Let's go. It's either going to be me or it's going to be you. But I'm ready. Now, I don't know if you're ready, but when I get there, you better be ready because we're going there. We're going there. We're going to do that. And it ain't no hesitation. It ain't no, oh, let me think about it. Oh, should I? No. Boom. I'm 100. I'm there. Things better be right or say goodnight. That's it. And I knew that. So when the voice said, don't go home, I paused. And then tears started coming down. And the tears started coming down because the fleshly me wants to confront this person that's playing with me and my kids. And I'm looking at the person. I'm not looking at no spirit in the person. I'm not looking at anything else. It's just, you know what I'm saying? So as I'm crying, my thought is, this has to be the Lord. And the way I figure that is, the Lord knows my heart right now. And I am actually finna go take this person out of the world. That's what I'm going to go do. Just being honest with you guys. That's what I was going to go do. You see? See, people think they know you. They say, "Oh, she's so soft. She don't da, 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 da. Do not. You never know what a person will do. But I know what I was going to go do. I know. Anything was not right, out of line, my kids crying or one's crying or something, and they say the wrong thing or whatever, lights out. That's it. That's it. So, and I don't know if the demonic spirit was playing with my thoughts, but I felt like when the person wouldn't let me talk to my kids, that's what was going on. You know. Anywho's. So when I was told not to go home, I said to myself, this has to be the Lord that I hear. Because what's in my heart I know. And if it was demonic spirit, they would have said, it would have been like this. Yeah, go ahead and go. Hurry up and get there. You know, that's waiting on you. You're not moving fast enough. He's already done this and he's already done that. You know, you're weak. You're this, you're that. Oh yeah, he's playing games. Da 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 da. You know? And I mean, it came in my mind so quick. I knew that if it was something bad, a bad spirit, that's what it would have told me. But that's not what was said to me. What was said to me was, don't go home. That's it. No explanation. No convincing. No, everything gonna be all right. Nothing. Just don't go home. In a soft voice. But it was a loving feeling like, trust me, tears crawling down, and I don't want to hear what I don't want to do this. I want to go home. But anyway, that's why I tell you guys, you know, when you harden your heart and you can't, you can hear the Lord, but you don't do what he say. You know the difference. You know. Have you ever got in trouble when something told you, you better not do that? You finna get caught. You better not do that. If you done stole something or told a lie or something, like don't say that. You know, da, 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 da. I'm just saying. I think everybody's been there where something told you to don't do it and you did it anyway. And then exactly something happened. You got caught. You got caught in your lie. You got caught stealing. You got caught cheating. You got caught, you know, manipulated. I don't know. Well, you had a feeling. Something in your head said don't. You didn't want to listen. Can't tell me it ain't happened. It has. It might be a very, like, not even audible. People say, that's your conscience. Whatever. I think it's the Holy Spirit. And you're going the wrong direction, you know. And nobody say you ain't gonna hit some wrong roads. You are. You're gonna take the wrong direction, but he can still get you there, you know, because you got a purpose. You just, you know, they always say, turn from your wicked ways. Turn. Stop doing that. Stop, stop, stop. I'm going to say this, and it may make some people mad. If it makes you mad, then do something about it. But a lot of times, we, you, me, we find ourselves in a situation because of us, you and me. We didn't want to hear. We didn't want to hear that voice. We didn't want to hear that knowledge. We didn't want to turn and change. We in our flesh. We're in our human body. You know, we're gonna make this happen. We're gonna make that change ourselves. And sometimes, you know, we do got to get out the way and let the Lord handle it. We don't want the Lord to handle it. You know, shoot, I want to see that person hurt. I want to see that person, you know, da 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 da. Woo woo woo. You know, so I know we think when we take God's way, it's like we don't get the satisfaction of the revenge. We don't. You know? And yeah, we see it down the road, but I mean, it be some satisfaction, but it don't be the satisfaction like we wanted to be a part of why that happened, or da 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 da, or we want to know what made that person change their mind, or we want to see that person fail, you know, da 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 da. And then if we, even when we do see the person, we be like, we can't even rejoice into it, you know, because, you know, like his whole reason, he don't want nobody to go to hell. Nobody. He don't. It's just that's the way it is. Some people decision is they gonna go. I'm just being honest. Not everybody gonna make it to heaven. They just not, y'all. Even the ones that know all the scriptures and know where they at, and they and all of that. You be like, I want to, that person hurt me. So now you want revenge. Or that person stole my purse. That person hit me in the eye. What you gonna do about it, Lord? What you gonna do about it? Well, you probably shouldn't even been in that relationship. Well, why you want the Lord to do something to that person? Shouldn't the Lord do something to you when you know you shouldn't even be in a sexual relationship with a person without marriage? You put yourself there. But you won't, I'm just saying, y'all, that's some deep conversation. Didn't want to listen, didn't pray. Is this the person for me? Just went and got with somebody because they look good. Or, shoot, you know what I'm saying? Hey, it was all good in the bedroom. You weren't even supposed to be in that bedroom. You shouldn't even know about that. But then the person ain't acting right, and now you want some revenge. We don't look at the whole thing. But that person hurt me. That person's cheated on me. It's cheated on you. That's not your person. You cheated yourself by giving your body to somebody that was nobody. They was not supposed to be for you. You went and test drive a car that's not yours. Now you all in your feelings. And then you don't know who they been in the bed with, Now those spirits is transferring to you, and you sitting over there. Why he not returning my call, and he called back and cussed me out, and da 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 da, and then the ones that's married. Did you even ask that's the person you're supposed to marry? My first marriage, I did not. So, I look at it like this. I got what I got. But I did ask God I wanted some revenge. But I didn't even, I knew that he was not the one, but I wanted him anyway. And I got him. And then I didn't think that I just wanted God to, when he leave me, let's see where he gonna be at. He gonna lose everything. Da 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 da. They were like, she gonna lose everything. Well, I did lose some things, but he lost a lot. He went back to jail or whatever, and I lost my job, and I came out all right, But people was telling me, oh, such is in jail. He even wrote me a letter. Hey, I need you to do me a favor. I need to ask for a favor. Could you get me a lawyer? Da 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 da. I read it, ripped it up, and threw it in the trash. And he never wrote me again. He never wrote me again. Because I am not the one. And he's out now somewhere. I don't know where, but I'm pretty sure he's living his life. And at the time, I want, I'll be honest with you. I was hoping he had to do life in prison or whatever, because he hurt me. We was in a marriage for 7 years, and then he just go buck crazy. He didn't want to be in no marriage. He wanted to be married, but not in a marriage. That you got to realize something when you start intertwining with people. You can't just shoot. Like I said, I made a lot of mistakes. I didn't ask the Lord, was he the one? I already knew he wasn't, but I wanted what I wanted, And a test is not a test unless it's something that's testable. Like you cannot bring me some scraggly man and I be like going cuckoo for Cocoa Pops. No. So, other than his height, I think he was like 5'7". Maybe not even that tall. Maybe he was like 5'5". But that was it. Had he be 6 foot, oh my goodness. I don't know. That would have been crazy. But like you have a certain type of person you want. You say you want light skin or dark skin. You want tall or medium, or you don't mind. You just don't mind. You want good looking. You want well built. You want, a good dresser. You want, one thing that was not on my list was a God fearing. It was not on my list. And next thing I know, I seen this man and I was like, oh my goodness. Just nice. Just, I was like, oh, I wonder if I can get that. And I did. And the funny thing about it was, he was in a relationship when I met him. I said, oh, come out of that relationship. It's going to be me and you. You know what he said? Okay. That's what he said. He said, okay. I said, what are you doing with her? It's going to be me and you. He said, okay. I'll cut that off. It's me and you. That's how quick and easy it was. I was like, ooh. He tried to go back a little bit or something. Then he was like, I'm sorry. And he probably talked to her more than that. I'm pretty sure he did. I didn't know nothing about it, but you know what I'm saying? It was quick, easy, and everything. I was like, wow. I mean, But, you guys, what I'm trying to say is, that's when I thought, I got it going on, Anywho's, that's life. We sometimes say, okay, let me go in here and do this on my own without God. And, and in all reality is we end up messing up and we get with these, and there's so many out there, you guys. I'm going to tell you guys something. I'm not going to tell you the whole spiritual part of it, but this room was full of people and I'm not going to share, like I said, the spiritual part, but none of them, they all was doing, under the influence of the evil one. All of them. And I was sitting there in the spiritual realm, just watching them. It was crazy. Everybody, it was just one person, and it was the janitor. It was the one person that I just looked at the janitor, and he was like, "Yeah, you see what I see." And I mean, he didn't say it, but telepathic. Like I said to him, are you seeing what I'm seeing? And he said telepathically, shaking his head up and down, "Yeah, this is really going on." And we just looked at each other.
Are you still recording?
So, go.
Okay, sorry. Still recording?
So, it has been very, very, and I wouldn't say confusing because I'm not confused, but very eye-opening that, especially like when I go to work, I have people talking to me all the time. "Hey, how was your day? Woo, woo, woo," and all this other stuff. And my daughter said something to me the other day, and she was like, "Mom, nobody's your friend." I don't think any of them's my friend. None of them. I mean, sometimes people say something to me, and they think they're my friend, and especially if they give me really bad advice, like don't do this or don't do that or whatever or something, and I know it's wrong. And I was like, "Hey, I don't know if I can even listen to you anymore because you just gave me some really bad advice or something, But none of them, even the ones that, like I said, think that they're my friend, they are not, at work. So, so anywho's, we just gotta, I know a lot of people say, ask the Lord, But I'm a strong believer that sometimes we say, we'll just be in thought or something. But did we literally ask, like, God, help me, like, help me through this situation, or calm somebody's anger down or something. Like, I don't know, But I guess we can always ask for a revenge type of thing, but who really supposed to get the revenge? Is it you? Because you was the one probably being disobedient. You didn't listen the first time when he told you to leave that person alone. You like, I want him anyway. I'm talking about myself. So if anybody get offended, you're getting offended because I'm talking about myself, and that would be weird. But I'm just saying, like, we have to sometimes take accountability of the things that we put there, in our life, and made it into, just like my job. I don't know what I did to tick this woman off, which, I'm not fearful of her, because anytime, and I'm not talking smack, or you know how people be like, you be talking some mess. I mean, hey, if she tells me to clock out, go home, I clock out and go home. I'll be like, okay, I will be okay. I know this. I will be okay. But I haven't done anything. They're trying to make it seem like I done something to offend her. You cross yourself out on the. Did you? She sent me a text message and said, "Did you cross yourself out for the pickup for tomorrow?" I texted her back and I said, "No, I wanted to work tomorrow. I was already crossed out." I was like, "Do I work tomorrow?" She didn't text back. So I texted her again and said, "Do I work tomorrow?" She didn't text back. My phone tells me she's seen the message. So I'm just working. I'm not even thinking about it. I'm like, tomorrow come. I don't know if I work or not. I just don't even know. I talked to one of my coworkers, and he is a guy, his name Moody. He say, just come in anyway, because if you don't come in and she has you down, that's a no call, no show, you know? And then it's almost like you're enslaved to her because she's going to help you keep your job or blah, 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 or maybe let you go. I didn't really need him to tell me that. I was going to come in anyway, just because, the conversation is, did you take yourself off the schedule? Why would I take myself off the schedule? I put myself down. I've never taken myself off the schedule. You guys cross me out and then going to ask me that. So I had talked to the other nurse that I just trained that's on the other side, because I needed a pick line. And I thought she was an RN. I forgot. She's in RN school, but she's not an RN yet. But I was like, hey, I need this pick line DC. So can you come over and do it? And she was like, no, I can't do that. I was like, what do you mean you can't do it? You're an RN. She said, no, not yet. She said, girl, remember I told you I'm in school for an RN. I'm not an RN yet. I said, oh, man. I was like, well, I guess he's not going to get his pick line DC for me because I'm not finna do it. It's easy. Just pull it out and make sure it's not bleeding. Put a bandage over it. It'll be all right. Normally 99.9% of the time, but if something go wrong, then shoot, you got a problem. But, LPNs don't do that. I'm just saying, if they got a problem with it, I left it for them in the morning. They can do it. They are in. I'm not. Yeah. So anyway, I'm not going to sit there and go, how are we going to get it out? If there's no RN here to get it out, then we're not going to get it out. I'm not saying I don't know what to do. I'm just saying it's not in my practice to take a pick line out. That is only RNs can do that. And there's reasons behind the season. If they say only RNs can do it and they got it popping up so you can do it, I don't care. It could pop up 50 million times. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Y'all can do it in the morning when you get here. It will be here. It is not no emergency to be done. Shoot, I flushed the line to keep it patent, 10 milliliters of NS, normal saline, and 5 milliliters of heparin. That's it. What you guys do with it after that, you take it out yourself. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. because I do believe that RNs are the only ones that's supposed to do that. I think I've done it before. I've even seen it done before. Like I said, I don't have a problem doing it. I know what to do. But you take something out like that, they'd be like, what do you do that for? You can't do that. Now, I could have called my boss and said, hey, could I take this PIC line out? And she say, sure. And then we got a problem. She said, yeah, I told you that, but you should have known that I thought you was an RN. Then you got to write up. Because that's not in your job description. So anyway, she said, me, Nate. Anyway, you guys. So y'all look forward to this change for a little bit. I just want to do it. And I think we talked about it. I think it was at the beginning of the year. And I was wanting to do like love and couples and stuff, dating and pop the balloon thing and stuff like that. And that's good. That's fun to watch that and have a reaction on that. It is fun, but as I watch it, it's entertaining more than anything. But and don't get me wrong, I like entertainment, but I like to stay on a more neutral ground of what's real and what's life, what's going to help me. And, Pop the Balloon does help, watching how people, re, you know, uh, judge people. And sometimes they find themselves hooking up with somebody that you wouldn't have thought that they would have hooked up with or whatever, or how people that sort of pop the balloon is in line, but then they got these high standards, and you're like, and they nice looking too. She said, you can take, but a doc have to do that. I had an order. The order was there, but I don't know. I didn't even Google it to see. And I got my phone on the charger, so this phone is a really crappy phone. But let's see. Let me see if I can ask it a question and it will answer it. Let's see. Can a LPN take out a PIC line? It says whether an LPN can remove a PIC line depends heavily on the specific state in your employer's facility policies. Then it says, can an LPN pull a PIC line? No, an LPN cannot pull a PIC line. And for the people saying it depends on facility, it does not. Your scope is determined by the BON of the state. An LPN scope of practice regarding PIC lines is highly restrictive and strictly governed by the State Board of Nursing. That's why they said the BON. And facility practices. Generally, LPNs are not permitted to insert, remove, or administer IV push medications through PIC lines. Oh, you can't push medications through PIC line, but you can do. Oh, and she says not only RNs. Yeah, it gets up there. So yeah, I don't think we can do that. But I don't even chance it. It popped up. Oh, well, okay, sweetheart. You put the order in. Why you didn't go pull it? She was like, "Oh, here, we've got an order to DC the pick line." And I'm looking at her, and I guess she thought I was gonna do it. Chick, it'll be here tomorrow for you. I'm not gonna do that. No, ma'am. We're not doing that today. Not today. We're not doing it. You know, I'm hoping I'm getting brighter and smarter and, oh, I got to get this done and oh, I got to get that done. I just stay busy and time just go. I just stay busy. Life is what it is, you guys. It is. It will make you or break you. But I am so ecstatic about, I do believe when we start doing this reaction to this content and we watch it together and we critique it of what happened and what's been said and do we believe it and what is your thoughts, it's going to be, I don't know. I'm going to enjoy it. I don't know. Only did, she said, not only RNs, only did, but it was scary. So you did it, but it was scary? Oh, wasn't nobody there but me and another LPN, and she's IV certified and I'm IV certified. So, but I didn't need no problems in the middle of the night. No, they can do it in the morning. I'd be like, is it a do die situation where the person just really has to have it out because they're trying to pull it out, or we're scared that something's getting clogged or something? No, you want it out, and there's an order that you put in to DC it. Well, then take it out, sweetheart. Don't tell me when I come on. I give it back to her this morning. She comes in and she just looked at me. I said, yep, the order there for the pick line to be DC'd is right there. It's to DC the pick line. So you got RNs in the daytime. You don't have none at night. Not tonight. Normally we have it, 2-3 times a night, but 2-3 times a week, but wasn't last night. So it didn't happen. I'm like that. They don't care if it's today, tomorrow, the next day. Within 72 hours, just take it out. It ain't even got to be 72 hours. As long as you keep that line clean and patent, you're good. You know what I mean? So, anyway, you guys, I'm going to get off of here. I just wanted to share with you guys the change into the content that we're going to go into. Where you at? I was at work. I was at work at a facility, at an aging facility. So, yeah. So, So anyway, you guys, how can what? Duh. In Kansas. So I'm hoping that you guys will come in once I get an understanding how to set this up that we can communicate, watch this content, and I really don't want to do it in 3 segments, like boom, 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 or 3 or 4 segments. But I can't. I just don't want one segment because the video is normally about an hour and 30 minutes long. So, whew, it's crazy. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. But I'm pretty sure we can get it though. I'm pretty sure I think I know how to do it. I just got to set my mind to it. And like once we do it about 2 or 3 times, we'll roll with it. Never heard nothing like it. Not NFNA. I don't know what NFNA means. Or NFA. I don't know. You got me looking with my glasses like, what is that? So hopefully, we'll see what happens in Florida. Oh, okay. Hopefully you guys will engage in it. I'm pretty sure that's the route that I am drawn to. I've been waiting to have like, are we going to still work on kids' stories and things of that nature? Probably so, if, one. But, I was going to tell you guys, when I go down to Atlanta, real quick, when I go down to Atlanta, I am going to drive down to Birmingham, Alabama, where Cupcake came up missing. Yeah. And I just want to go to that area and just walk the grounds and be where she got kidnapped at. And you guys, if you want me to go live while I'm there, just to walk the route and just to like, my opinion said, okay, yes, yeah. So I will go live when I get down there. I may even go live when I'm in Atlanta, but I'm pretty sure I probably will, especially in the room or whatever, if I hook up to their Wi-Fi. But nevertheless, when I get down to Alabama, and down there, that's where I live now. Okay. So yeah, I'm going to drive down there. I'm going to visit my homegirl, Freddie. Freddie's down there. I'm going to get to see my godchild while I'm down there. But, one of the main reasons why I want to go is I just want, I just want to go and kind of just walk that walk. Because, we broke that case. Everybody was like, oh, she got kidnapped at the baseball game. Oh, she never was there. Da-da-da-da-da. And all this other stuff. And people was like, SB, you don't know what you're talking about. And da-da-da-da-da. And we broke it down. We were bringing people in that lived across the thing. And why, Quintessa was over here. And why she was over there. And then spoke to Quintessa. They was like, you ain't spoke to Quintessa. Quintessa's in jail. Let me tell you something. You can reach anybody if you want to. But like Like when you on fire like that, you know, you want to know what happened, why, is anybody else involved? And April couldn't understand. She was like, I don't want to hear her voice. Girl, if you know, I get that. I understand. But, you know, at the same time, like I just said, you know, what was you doing? And why would you drop a child off at a party that she wasn't invited to? And she's 3, not 13, not 10, 12, 15, 20, 19, 3 in a diaper. So, the only thing I did is I got comfortable. Well, I'm going to be real because this is a mother, but still yet, it's a lot you did. I really think that people want to say you did nothing wrong. They said that. And I mean, I don't know how many people in here that would drop a kid off in the middle of Crack Alley at a birthday party that they wasn't invited to and they don't know the people and drive off. You tell me if anybody in here will do that. And I guarantee you, not one person is going to say, I'll do that. I understand it. Because that's a lie. That's a bald-faced lie. You want to be right, just be right. Ain't nobody that got common sense will say that was the right thing to do. So if it's not right, then you must have done something wrong. You can still like the person, but why lie to people and tell them that it was okay? It's okay. Yes, I understand you lost a child. I understand that. Not bashing nobody, but that is not something we do. You can't do that in this type of world. You can't do it. I don't know anybody that does something like that and say it was okay. I'm not saying that, you know, like the grown-ups didn't have some bull crap in their stuff, you know. They did. Both of them, mama and daddy. But, you know, yeah, she was big mad. She was mad at me. She was mad. She was like, yeah. But whatever. To be honest with you, I feel sorry for her. But we gotta start telling people the truth. That's just logic. If you don't tell people the truth, like, I mean, that's a hard lesson. That's a real hard lesson. Like, you can't do that, you know? And maybe, and she did get comfortable with the place, or, you know, her cousin watching her kid and how they, with all the kids would play and all this other stuff. But, and she didn't take the kid, you know, I get that. But I'm telling you guys, whether she say it or not, and she probably never will say it, but she has to live with that, and she got to go to counseling. Because even when I didn't go pick my brother up so he can go do some more garage sales, and then the next day he's dead, I feel responsible. I feel responsible. I feel like, like if I would have spent more time with him, I could have seen how sick he was or getting, or he didn't take his medicine or whatever. But you can't. When things happen, it happens. It happens to everybody, where you feel like, but to not take responsibility or accountability of your actions, of what you done, and how things turn out. Now, and here's the thing, when a life is gone, it's gone. You don't get second chances. You don't. And I think about my brother all the time, and I just, people say, "Oh, it's not your fault," and I'm like, oh, like my mom trusted that, I could take care of him, so do I feel like it's my fault? No, I don't feel like it's my fault. I feel like I could have prevented it by spending more time or spending that next day, But, things all happen so that we can learn, do better, don't make those type of mistakes or decisions. There's people at work and they say they want to give me a hug. And I don't want to, I'm not a huggy person. Like, don't even touch me. Like, y'all just don't know. I am an introvert. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do not like people touching me and hugging on me and all in my space like that. But they do. They all touch me. I even wear gloves. So this one resident, every time I give her a drink of water, she got to touch me. And I'm gonna tell you something. I feel some type of way. So when I go to her room to give her meds, I put on gloves. Because I know some kind of way, it doesn't matter what you do, some kind of way, she's going to touch you. So I put on gloves because it seems like she has to touch my skin. For some unknown reason, she's got to touch me. And I don't like it. So I put on gloves. And I think, and I'm just going to say this, I do think that, and I know y'all going to think I'm crazy, but I believe that she's trying to transfer a bad spirit every time she touches me. And it's just this one resident. It's none of the other. I got 30 residents. It's just this one. She has to touch me. And it does bother me. So I just put on gloves when I go in there. I don't be like, oh my God, I just put on gloves. So when she touched me, she touched the gloves and not me. And I feel better. But somehow throughout the day, I have to go in there 3 times a night. I go in there around about 8, and then I go in there 12, and then I go back in there about 5:30. 3 times. And I try to put on gloves every time. It's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah, you never know people's intentions exactly. And it may be something she thinking like, I don't know. It's very uncomfortable. When she first started doing it, I mean, I recognized it a long time ago. This is not something new, you guys. I've never said nothing to nobody. You guys are the first people I've said that there's this one resident. Every time I go in her room, I throw those gloves on and I give her a sip of water and she grabs the cup and she touches me some kind of way. She's got to touch me. And I'm like, oh my. It's disturbing, very disturbing. But I can't say, oh, could you guys go give her a drink of water? Or can you pick up the cup yourself? You know, and she can pick the cup up, but you know, she don't, and she won't. She just be like, oh, just, you know. First, I was giving her pills, and then I got her now she just lays on the bed and she wants me to dump them out on the bed, and so she can pick her pills up herself. And I like that because I don't have to, we ain't got to touch each other, you know? So. Anyway, you guys, I'm going to get off of here. I will see you guys in a couple of days. Friday. Am I off Friday? No, I got to work Friday. I might check you guys out tomorrow. All right. Be good, be safe, and be nice to each other.